What is it about RTT and the training that makes it so teachable and so accessible for people thinking about changing careers?
You know, somebody once said to me once, you are the Jamie Oliver of therapy, because Jamie says, here's a recipe, follow it, and you'll turn out something pretty good, almost as good as I could do. So RTT is a formula, it's a technique. It says we start with that, and we do that, and that, and that. And if you follow the formula, you will get the results I get. It isn't rigid in that I've got to do A, B, C, D, but we show you the formula. You start with the intake form. In fact, I always imagine it wearing 5 hats. The first hat, you become what we call it being a good detective. A good detective will lay out pictures and look at a scene and work out what happened. And we are good detectives. We go back and say, well, what happened? No one is born saying, I can't be the focus of attention. I can't speak in public. I can't leave food on my plate. There's no baby in the world that would tell you that. So our first thing is, let's put on the good detective hat and investigate what happened to that client. The second hat is, now I'm going to interpret how what happened affected you, because how what happens affects people differently. So now we're an interpreter, interpreting what happened to our client, and now we become an interrupter. And we interrupt the belief, I can't find love because I was abandoned as a child. I can't leave food, we didn't have it. I can't not drink because I'm from a family of alcoholics. We massively interrupt the belief. And then we become a coder. We put on the coding hat and we code in a totally different belief system. So we find the pattern, we make sense of it, and we change it all in one session. And we train you. You're going to be an investigator, an interpreter, an interrupter, an installer, or a coder. And it's understanding the sequence of how it works. I do this, followed by that, followed by that. And if it doesn't work, I've got 4 other things I can do to gather information. One of the most exciting things about RTT, it's very therapy-driven. See, traditional therapy says, oh, Ben, you do that because of that. This happened and you do that. RTT asks the client, tell me, those scenes we looked at, how do they impact you? And the client will go back and say, you know what, I never realized this. But that's exactly why I do that. So you don't tell them and force your will on them. They actually tell you. They do so much of the work for you. Then they don't go home and say, guess what my therapist said? And go, that's rubbish. They go, guess what I discovered in my session? Guess what I found, understood, and let go of? Because I realized early on as a therapist, if you tell your clients in a kind of teacher, I'm going to tell you this and that, they don't always like that. But when they work it out, it's like that expression, teach a man to fish and he'll fish forever. Give him the fish, you only give him the fish for one day. So it's very powerful. The clients are so engaged in their transformation.
You've just interpreted and defined my 2 different relationships with therapy. The one I had before RTT, where I was told my interpretations of my life, and the one I had with RTT, when I was shown the trauma.
Yes.
Being able to go through that extremely powerful experience of the RTT hypnosis and regression. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think I could be hypnotized.
Yeah.
I was hypnotized within 30
everybody
seconds.
can be hypnotized.
And then the questions I was being asked, the answers were in front of me. Not interpreted by you. I was able to see it for myself, and you guided me through that and integrated it and reframed it.
Because the old model is, I'm a very powerful therapist here to tell you what's wrong and help you put it right. But that's the wrong. Well, we need to switch sides. What we say is, you're a very powerful person. Your mind knows what happened, when it happened, how it affected you, and how to change it. If you acquired a stutter, you acquired blushing, you couldn't. If you acquired nail biting, which you must have done because babies don't have any teeth. Nobody is born biting their nails. So if you acquired it, the same mind that acquired it can unacquire it. If you created it, you can let it go. But it's the reversal of power. I'm not sitting going, I'm all powerful, I'm like Freud, and I'm psychoanalyzing you, and you're just sitting there. I'm like, no, you're powerful. So if a client said to me, you know, I was abandoned as a child, And ever since, I crave cakes and ice cream. And I never realized that I'm going back to the memory of mother's milk, because there's only one food in the world that's half fat and half sugar, human milk. There's fatty food like nuts and avocado, and there's sugary food like mangoes, but there's no combination. But when they go, oh, so I learned that response. I was trying to get love, and now I can find love in a different way. So I tell all my therapists too, that your job is to give every client freedom and empowerment. But if the therapist is the power, where's the freedom? I've got to go back every week because they're the power telling me what's wrong. I want to put myself out of business. I don't want clients to come back I want them to say, I went to this person, they really showed me the way, and now I'm doing it all myself, rather than, well, they told me something and I've got to keep returning. And so that's why it's easy to learn. It's a replicable formula. It's a formula, a recipe, a method, a technique that works very, very well. But it really benefits the client as much as the therapist, because it empowers the client as much as the therapist.
So if you want to experience RTT and get RTT, or if you're interested in becoming an RTT therapist, you should watch this content now, and we'll teach you how you can overcome trauma in 90 minutes, or you could become a therapist within 9 months. Yeah.
And also our training is very thorough. We've been training this method for over 10 years now. And of course, we realized very quickly that a lot of therapists are empaths. They've got a real heart for therapy. They really want to make an impact, but they don't understand marketing. And we realized, we should add that. We don't just teach you how to be a phenomenal therapist that makes an impact. We teach you how to market yourself, how to sell yourself, how to find clients, how to niche, how to use search engine optimization, how to have the right titles. And sometimes a little shift makes a massive difference when you understand marketing. For instance, when I write books, I understand something. If a book title sells a promise, it will sell 10 times more than one that doesn't. There was a book years ago called Thin Thighs in 30 Days, which probably didn't even work, but the promise made that book fly off the shelves. So when you're selling yourself, we like to put a promise in there, a promise that we will honor, by the way. So my husband is a genius marketer, and we understand marketing techniques. We understand your message. We understand that today, in the digital world, if no one knows who you are or where you are or what you can do, you're at a disadvantage. So inner belief is actually helping you. People know who you are, what you do because of the site. So we're giving you a face. We're giving you a profile. Who are you? What do you do? And where can I find you?
We do all of the hard work for you so you can focus on being the best therapist possible.
Just being an amazing therapist, If you like this, please like and subscribe. You can help me and I can help. We all want to grow together. And in liking and subscribing, you'll get more notifications of more stuff to help you expand. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.